Hello there, everyone. Welcome back, and I'm here to be talking about Stranger Things Season 3, and it takes place a year after the events of Season 2. Like, each season takes place a year apart from each other, but coincidentally, since it released on 4th of July weekend, week, I would say, since 4th of July was during the week. Of course, the overall theme is it's still summer for the characters, and there's this new mall that is in the town, and it's during the 4th of July, and of course there's more shenanigans going on with the Upside Down because the Mind Flayer from season 2 is still in their world, and it uses a new host to try to build itself up to eventually take over the city and then possibly the world. So obviously it's a big threat. So you have your OG cast with some new additions coming together to stop it. So that was about as, vague-ish, I would say, about this season, because I binged, it's kind of a cluster, because I binged it throughout the night when it dropped, and I finished it off when I woke up. So I'm just going to get right into it. Also, there might be some, it's been out for a few days. I'll address some spoilers throughout the video because I don't really know how I could really talk about the season without getting into some spoilers. So, spoiler warning, but I'll probably put it in the title, so there you go. Alright, so of course, through the past few seasons, you'll have different groups, but by the end they'll all come together. So I'll talk about each group, and I'll talk about each character, and then I'll talk about overall how I thought of this season. So I'll start off with, I'd say, the kid group, the main kid group. You'll have basically Will, Mike, Lucas, Eleven, and Max in a group. Now, first few episodes, there are some parts I'm really engaged with. I'm not gonna lie, anytime Billy was on screen, I was pretty hooked. And I didn't really like him that much in season 2. But he was given so much more in this season, and he is the host that the Mind Flayer gets a hold of, and he starts kidnapping people, and then they start working with him, and they're all being controlled by the Mind Flayer to then grab other people of Hawkins to this so disgusting. They turn into goo or whatever. Same with it starts out with rats blowing up in the goo, and it mushes to make a creature big enough to take hold of people and make them zombie figures, basically, to then for them to be turned into goo and mushes into that creature that you see on the poster. And it's really disgusting. The effects were really well done, and honestly, every time he was on screen, I was really it was really tense. What was he gonna do? Because you don't really know where he's gonna go with some of his actions, because some moments, literally, there's this one scene where the kids have him trapped. They were gonna do what they did to Will, because when Will was being possessed by it last season, they trapped him in an area and turned the heat up all the way because it doesn't like heat and hot. So they did the same with Billy, and Billy's acting normal and all, and then Will, since he has a connection with this creature, he's he gets goosebumps on the back of his neck. He's able to sense it, and then just like that, Billy just starts lashing out and all. He literally broke the door through, and then it's throughout this season, basically, the creature wants to kill Eleven. There's so many crazy things that'll happen to her. She's getting choked out. This when she was trying to fend off the creature when they were at Hopper's cabin, it grabbed onto her leg, but you think it's fine. Oh, she got cut, stitch it, and then you see something moving around inside her leg, and I was like, so they cut it back open. Jonathan is reaching in there, and I was like, no! It was so disgusting. There's so many scenes like that. The kids, since naturally they're growing up, I think the creators and all are able to do more with them. You see them get beat up a lot, get knocked around, and I was like, whoa. Oh my goodness. I was just really impressed. Now, from that group, if I had to pick some favorites, I honestly really liked Will in this season, because there's really starting to run out of what to do with him, because he was used as the MacGuffin on Define Will in season 1. Season 2, he's used as sort of an antagonist type of thing, and then season 3, it's well, where to do with him? Have him be he wants to hang out with his friends and all, but they're all moving on with like love interests and stuff like that, and he still wants things to be the same since he kind of got robbed of that since he went through being trapped in the Upside Down for season 1, being possessed by a creature in season 2, so he kind of wants that, and I feel bad for him, and I found him really sympathetic, so I really liked Will in this season. And I like 11 how she's able to make a friend with Max because they didn't like each other in last season because she was jealous because of what happened there. But I like how she was able to do something different. At first, I didn't like it because it was like teen drama where they were dating. Stupid Hopper makes them like have a falling out. Basically, they break up throughout season 3. And they just they do boy girl stuff about, ooh, what should I buy her? And ooh, let's go shopping. It's like a bunch of stereotypes that I got sick of really quickly. But luckily they all team up and start to do what the main plot is, to stop Billy and this creature. So I like that they came together. But yeah, I really liked 11 in this season. Max, really everyone gets some better development in this season. Even cider characters. We'll jump along to Steve's group, I'll say, or Dustin's group, or whatever you want to call it, because you have them and Steve, who works at this ice cream shop in the mall with a new character, Robin, and Erica, who's the younger sister of Lucas from season 2. She's given so much more to do here. I was kind of shocked, and honestly, I really like this team up too because it's really unexpected. But, I mean, we know how Dustin and Steve would work off since we saw it in Season 2, which was unexpectedly really well done. So here, add Robin, who's kind of like a snarky, sarcastic type of character. It's really funny. And Erica, who I found so annoying last season. I still find her a bit annoying here, but at least she does something to, help out and contribute, so I respect that. And she grows a bit throughout. So, everyone, even characters you don't like, they have good character moments to make you kind of, like them. With Billy from last season, I know I might be rambling a bit, but he was given so much more to do here. And I just, not gonna lie, by the end of the season, when he, sacrificed himself to save 11, after they had that talk where she's like, I saw your mom and you on the beach, whatever, when she went into his head earlier, that was pretty great. I didn't like him, but I felt bad for him because he did save her in the end. And I felt bad for Max because she lost her brother. And it was pretty graphic. The creature, it's disgusting. Which, let me talk about the adult group. You have Joyce and Hopper, which do make a really great team. They always team up usually in these seasons. But they had that journalist guy from last season that Jonathan and Nancy visited when they were trying to do that storyline with, getting justice for Barb. Hashtag justice for Barb. So he would play the role in here because he's there's this Russian guy who's basically a defector who was working on that underground. I almost forgot to say, yeah, there's a Russian side plot because that's basically how all this nonsense starts. They're trying to reopen that portal that 11 closed last season, and they've been doing it for the past year, and they're making a lot of progress where Joyce and Hopper uncover it, and they get this one Russian guy who's a defector, so they need to know what he's trying to say because he only speaks Russian, so that's where they get the journalist, and they are able to uncover it. But you have this Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator type of Russian chasing them throughout the season. And basically it comes down to this major fight after they have a couple of scuffles. I think they fought around 4 times. Yeah, the Russian and Hopper, they fought once at Hawkins' lab, once to get the Russian guy to find out more, once at the carnival after the Arnold Schwarzenegger type kills the Russian defector, and then yet again at the underground thing underneath the mall. And it was pretty crazy. The fights were really well done, and it was kind of evened out. The first fight, the Russian guy beat Hopper's butt. He beat him. The second fight was kind of a scuffle. They escaped. The third fight, Hopper won. And the final fight, they both kind of lost because they both ended up dying, which I thought was really, I kind of had a feeling that Hopper would die, but I didn't think they would actually go through with it. But it was pretty like emotional, not gonna lie. Like this was like a really sad ending, I would say. And of course they're gonna have a season 4 because of there was an end credit scene that set up the Russians have their own Demogorgon pretty much. But like for them to actually kill off one of the major characters, so that's been a complaint I've been seeing some people have, and I kind of had that complaint too, where I mean, you had side characters like Barbara or Brenner or pretty much anyone with a B at the beginning of their name die, but not the main core cast of adults and kids. Like, I was kind of thinking the person they might kill off would be Steve, which I would hate because he's my favorite character in this show. And he he gets beat up a lot. Like, they kept had the running gag on he's never won a fight or whatever. He won a fight against this one Russian guy down below, but then he gets his butt kicked a lot when being interrogated because the Russians catch him and rob him while the kids escape. But they're trying to interrogate him because they think he's a spy for the Americans when he's just really not. And then they drug him and Robin for them to tell the truth, and they tell them the truth, which is they just snuck in there and all. And then there's a scene where they're all like, out of their mind. It's so hilarious, like really great comedy in here. But I'm not gonna lie, there were so many like deaths in this season. I was really surprised. Like it got like the creature. You see how huge it gets, and you just know that you see a montage of people just walking towards it and then just turn it into like goo. And I was like, it was really great. It was like crazy. And then the final fight at the end obviously was intense, really well done. There's like a couple of fights, like the hospital part was really like tense. I was really like unnerving. Like it was really crazy. So overall, the characters were really well done. There's lots of 80s nostalgia, of course, which I really love, like Back to the Future, Day of the Dead, stuff like that. I really appreciate those. This feels really much like the 80s, and I just love it so much. Great character moments. You had, while the season started out a bit slow for my taste, like you have some of those angst that, like the boy-girl drama that I didn't really like, but once the story picks up around, I'd say episode 3 or 4 or whatever, it gets going really fast. I really thought that this was a solid season 3. Would I say it's my favorite season? Probably not. I think season 2 still might be my favorite season, but this season was, I mean, there hasn't been a bad season yet for this show. I think this was pretty great, and I hope you guys got a chance to watch it because I spoiled pretty much the whole season, so I don't know why you sit through this. But yeah, with all that said, those are my thoughts on Stranger Things Season 3. Again, thank you all so much for watching. What'd you all think of it? If you had a chance to watch it, I very much would love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.